Hey, hey, welcome to Eli and Mike Live. Let's go.
Hey guys, so we have the amazing Thomas Orlina here with us today. Hey Thomas.
It.
Thanks so much for
Welcome,
having me.
welcome. So
Anytime.
You
excited,
guys look
so
so
excited.
amazing.
Oh my God,
Oh,
you
no.
do.
You're the superstar here, not us.
Right.
Come on.
Yes,
you.
we saw you pull up in ballet in that blue. We are like, okay, let's go.
Only the best for you guys.
Okay, let's go.
Thank you. But being here, you're in Beverly Hills.
Yes.
It's definitely the city of lights. I mean, Hollywood is too, but I feel like Beverly Hills has come up a lot.
so much.
And you
It's
know
the
what,
best. It's the best.
It is the best. But you know what? I want to know how you're doing all this stuff. You're doing some amazing things, and I want to know how it all started up for you.
Yeah, well, for me, I've always wanted to be in the entertainment industry since I was a little kid. And, I went to college, got my degree, and I just kind of started working at the studios and started really understanding how this whole thing worked.
Yes.
And really, my career started working for a network. Actually, Maria Menounos was the CEO of the network, and so she was kind of my mentor. And
Okay.
we did like after shows. I would interview celebrities,
Amazing.
and after that experience, I really wanted to kind of take things in my own hands. So I developed my own YouTube series,
Wow.
Your Time with Thomas.
Oh, loves it. Loves it.
And truthfully, I had gotten the support of my family. They were so into it. They were like, go for it. Like, whatever you want to do. They were always very supportive. So I was really happy about that. And
Got it.
the series went on to, go on for 2 seasons. And we had so much fun doing it.
Wow.
A lot of philanthropy work. We went to Project Angel Food. You got to kind of really see
wow.
LA as well.
I love that.
So it was like very like lifestyle, like
right.
I kind of grew up on like early like the hills and like Laguna Beach and
Yes,
all
yes.
the like the real world, like all the OG reality shows. So I really wanted to make it my own.
Yes.
And I had so much fun with it. And then from that point on, after doing my show, really just kind of everything started like working out. I got to go on so many shows, and I was on CNN in the
Oh
Philippines.
my God, amazing.
Yeah, it was really great. And and now my music career is kind of what is really what I'm focused on. And
Yes.
it's a lot, but it's a lot of fun.
Yes,
But-
we see you working on those music videos. Looks
Thank you.
amazing.
And it's really cool because we were like, we've done photos with you before, and we go on Spotify, and we're like, you got a song on Spotify. So I'm like, what the hell? So they tag you on it, and we're like, oh my God, he's got music. So
Yeah,
you're
superstar,
definitely- Yeah, you're
superstar.
definitely coming up really fast.
Yeah.
Thank you.
And I think that's amazing, especially being, I mean, I don't know if we're called minorities or not, but we're Mexican, you're Filipino, so I
Yes.
feel
Yeah.
like us rising to become the better versions of our previous past, because we obviously have generational parts of they just came to the country and we're like
Right.
trying to rise, become better than our previous people. And
Mhm.
I think you're doing something really amazing with that energy that you got.
Yeah, no, I think you nailed it there. It's so important to continue to champion for Filipino Americans
Yes.
and also, the Latino community.
Right.
Definitely has changed over the last couple of
Yes,
years
it
with all the
has.
artists that have
It
come up.
definitely
So
has.
I love that we live in this time period where cultures are being celebrated, people
Yes.
are being amplified. I love it.
Yes,
That's
we
amazing.
see that. And I know we were asking, so like where did this all start? Like have
Yeah.
you always lived in? Are you like living in the Beverly Hills area? Where were you, where did it all start?
Yeah, for me, I was born and raised in Los Angeles. So,
okay.
my friends are here, my family's here. It's really all I've ever known.
Got it.
But I definitely love just how LA has changed over time, and obviously being in Beverly Hills, it's obviously changed as well.
Yes,
So,
yes.
for me, that's kind of my background.
Alright.
My parents were born in the Philippines, and so
Okay.
they had dreams to come to America and kind of make a thing for themselves. And we were really lucky to have, I guess for me, like a lot of example of like hard work really goes a long way.
Right.
So I've been working since I was like, 16 years old.
Got it.
So for me, I've always kind of wanted to have like my own money. I wanted to have like my own career, and so here we are.
And like, but where did you like see all this? Like this, you're a superstar, as you guys
Oh my
can see.
gosh. Thank you.
Was there somebody that influenced you to like be this type of person? We asked a guest the other day the same
Yeah.
question, and
Yeah.
he actually said, no, nobody influenced me. It was just like something that was in my like blood. Like I just went for it.
Yeah.
But for you, was it influence or was it just something that you wanted to do?
I think it was a mixture of both, to be honest, because I was always kind of like a creative person. Like growing up, I always like wrote down things. Like Brush It Off was my first single, and I had written that song a long time ago. It was like in my email,
Oh,
and I
wow.
was like, okay, I'm ready to like do music. So ever since I was a kid, I've always wanted to do this. And I think what I was inspired by musically, I would probably say Paris Hilton.
Oh my God,
Oh my
yes.
God.
Stars Are Blind in
Yes.
2006 when that
Right.
came out. Because I had, we were introduced to Paris Hilton on a reality show.
Right.
And
right.
when then she parlayed the reality show into a music career, I was like, oh my gosh, like, you don't have to really start off as a singer, so that really kind of inspired my music career. But I feel like, I've always kind of been creative, so I'm really excited for, what's happened over the past couple years.
Yeah.
And you're so young still. I mean, let's
Right.
be real. Like, you look like you're, what, 15 or something? I don't know. Filipinos keep their skin clean and everything, but
Oh my gosh.
but I appreciate you being very vulnerable and honest.
Well,
like,
actually, how old
yeah.
are you?
Yeah, okay.
So everybody
Yeah.
can know.
Yeah, how old are
No,
you?
we
Are you-
definitely won't say that.
Okay.
Oh, okay. So we
But
can't.
Asian
Yeah.
don't raisin. That's all I can say.
Oh shit.
Oh, wow.
Okay,
Yeah.
I love that. I'm gonna use that.
So what's the next big thing for you? So you got, actually explain to us what's going on here in this screen. You got a lot
Yeah.
going
You were
on.
actually, you were just talking about Brush It
Yeah.
Off. So you said this was
Yeah.
your first single,
Yeah.
and it was sponsored by Glad, which they're huge. So
Yeah.
can you tell
Right.
us a little bit about that? Because it's really hard to get sponsored by like Glad, you know what I mean, or certain companies. So
Yeah.
literally your first one, and you got sponsored. How amazing is that?
Yeah, no, thank you guys for putting this together. Brush It Off was the beginning of my career. I really wanted to do a video that really amplified the LGBTQ community because
Great.
it's so important to
Yes.
continue to champion for that, especially
Yes.
for the next generation.
Right.
So I had reached out to Glad to be a part of it. And, obviously this is just one snapshot of the music
Yes.
video. You guys
Right,
can check
right.
it out on
Yes.
YouTube. It's
Yes.
available now.
Brush it off.
Brush It Off. And so, yeah, it was like such a fun project. If you see, there were so many people that supported. These are some of the people that follow me on Instagram that I
love
had
it.
just posted, like,
No
who wants to
way.
be a part of it,
Oh
and
my
they had reached out to me.
Wow.
So it was such a collaborative experience. And then plus, having your first music video, it's like Britney's Baby One More Time. Like,
Yes, exactly.
right?
Right.
You
So
want it to
good.
be, like, iconic. So I
Yeah,
look back.
And I'm getting those vibes.
Yeah.
Right.
Yes.
Thank you. And so I was really happy with how it turned out, and it was just something I'm really like happy that we all collectively got together. We were all on the same page. It was during the time of everything that was happening with the BLM movement.
Right.
So there is like a mock protest in the actual video, and it was
wow.
so
Okay.
meaningful. Like people really showed out and really celebrated, and it was very powerful. So
Great.
I'm glad it was like my first baby.
Yeah.
And then moving
yes.
on, my second single, Journey, that was really my songwriter, Christopher Bugna. He's so talented. He's very early on in his career. He's like a upcoming artist.
Yes.
I really wanted a song about love.
Okay,
Like I
okay.
wanted to kind of change the mood a little bit.
right.
So I really wanted to have a song that really talked about relationships, passion for traveling.
Got it.
And so that's where that era was, and we
Okay.
filmed in in LA, and it was so much fun.
It looks. This one looks fun. I
Yeah,
love this
did you
one.
have an inspiration for that one? Like, what inspired you to make that song?
The inspiration for it was definitely, I think, I'm in a relationship right now, so I definitely, the lyrics meant more to me.
Yes.
And all the songs that I do mean a lot to me. So writing it just really, felt really good to put out a song that was meaningful, and my partner is in the music video.
Oh my God, no way.
Yeah,
Amazing.
so it was really fun. We filmed in a private plane,
Yeah.
and there's so many different vibes. We had choreography for it,
Oh,
so
wow. Oh
all
my
my
God.
projects are choreographed.
Yes.
Because as a recording artist, I always looked up to Britney,
Right,
Gaga,
right.
Justin Bieber, all these
Yes.
artists that have choreography in their
Uh-huh,
music. So I wanted to do that
It
as
makes
well.
such a difference.
Yeah.
I
It
mean,
makes such a
literally,
difference.
Like, I mean, you could just tell right here, like everybody is on point. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But you're also practicing choreography. You know actually how to make the moves and do all that.
Yeah, I definitely work with my choreographer. We work tirelessly to get these moves down, especially if I'm doing like a live performance or something like that. So we definitely, it's a collaborative effort.
Amazing.
And then this time was a very important project for me. It was about, my mental health struggle, and that was something where I entered in a whole new phase. Like,
Got it.
I talk a lot about this, and there's been a lot of things written about my journey with mental health. And so the video really showcases like me having a breakdown,
Got
and I
it.
was very emotional. I cried during the filming of it,
Yes.
but it was beautifully done. It was shot like a film.
Oh my God. I
And
love
so,
it. It looks like a film.
Yeah, you guys have to definitely check it out
Yes.
as well. And it was just so much fun. We were like driving around in a Porsche, and
Okay.
it was, you know, I had hints of like different things about me
Yeah.
as well that I love.
And when you're, you know, are these like, when you're doing these music videos, are they like past things that happened to you, or is it something you're currently going through? So was this, you know, was this the time that you were going through these issues, or it was a story of maybe a year or two before?
Yeah, it definitely was in the moment. When I
Wow.
wrote that song,
Okay.
it was actually during the time I was having a
Wow.
mental breakdown,
Oh, wow.
and I was like very emotional, and I seek therapy for a lot of like the issues that I was going through
Right,
that I'm
right.
very open about.
Yes.
So yeah, so that was really, it helped me. And I
Right.
think a lot of
Okay.
artists out there
Yeah.
that make music, I think a lot of it is the songwriting that really
Mhm.
gets them through like really dark times.
Got it.
And so, to your question, I'm
Mhm.
actually holding a newspaper of an article that was written about me at the beginning of my career.
Oh my gosh.
Because I
Wow.
think as artists, you go through your highs and
Mhm,
lows.
of
Sometimes
course.
you, and even, you know, you don't even have to be an artist. You can just be a regular person
Right.
that
Mhm.
just has their shit days and
Yes,
days that
right.
are amazing, and you're on
Mhm.
top of the world.
Mhm,
Right.
So I
mhm.
wanted all the projects that I'd done to be really
Yes.
relatable to everybody.
Got it.
And so in the video, I kind of go and I kind of have this like mental struggle of not feeling, you know, validated and feeling like I wasn't good enough or what I'm doing isn't that great.
Right.
So it was definitely a big moment for me, and I think I didn't realize the impact that it was gonna have.
I was gonna ask that because
Yeah.
like it obviously helps
Yeah.
so many individuals. You going out there, you know, creating this music. Obviously, you know, you're an artist, but you're actually helping people.
Yeah.
You know, because you're being vulnerable in a time where most people can't even get out of bed.
Right.
You know what I mean? You pushed yourself and you showed up to the studio or these sites where, you know, you're flying in planes and all. Most people, again, they don't want to get out of bed.
Yeah.
And you're pushing yourself, you're getting yourself out there. That even shows people who may be going through this
Yeah.
to, you know, maybe, you know, you need to be the one to get out of bed and make something happen and share with the world what is going on with you. That way it's a little bit easier, because you said it felt a little bit easier after you shared it, correct?
Yeah, absolutely. And
Uh-huh.
yeah, definitely. I feel like you nailed it on the head right there with just the relatability factor.
Right.
Is like, I had
Right.
people reaching out to me that was like, this song is so dope. It
Mhm.
really, like, the lyrics really, like,
Right.
hit me.
Right.
And, you know,
Mhm.
this
Oh, that's
time,
amazing.
this
Yeah.
time in general just means, like, this time I'm going to get it right. And I'm not going to, like, fuck it up anymore,
Right.
you know?
Yeah, exactly.
And so,
Okay, I like
yeah,
that.
there's a
Love
lot of that in that
Mhm.
project. And I Want It Right Now, which is my
Yes,
latest
yes.
single.
Okay, excited.
After my mental health breakdown, I was
Yes.
like, you know what? I want it right now.
Okay, love
I
it.
wrote the song
Yes.
so fast.
Oh, wow.
I literally was in, at the time, my partner's apartment, and I was just like writing it out so fast. I just remember it so vividly. I remember I was in bed. I was writing it so quickly, and it just started like coming to
Oh
me,
my
like
God,
what this
yes.
was gonna be like.
Mhm,
We
mhm.
went into the studio, recorded it, and I
Love
got
it.
my backup dancers. We
Mhm.
figured out the choreography,
Mhm, mhm.
and this era for me is just like all about confidence.
Love
like
it. You can feel it.
you can feel it, right?
Yeah. Mhm.
And it was definitely about just wanting to embrace who you are, the flaws, you know, your good days, your bad days, just like embracing everything as
Right.
part of like who you are. And it really ended up being so much fun. It was released during Pride Month.
Great.
Amazing,
And
amazing.
the video is super fun. It was definitely a great time. And
Love
it's really wild to look back at all of these moments, because I think every single one of these moments have led me to where I'm at.
Amazing.
And I think a lot of people can share with you about I Want It Right Now, because when you think about that, everybody wants something.
Right.
You know, they want whether more fame, whether more money, a better relationship. And
Right.
if you can break it down, like you said, you wanted something. What exactly was the main goal you wanted? Besides, obviously, being the amazing
Yeah.
person you are, like doing your performances,
Yeah.
going out there and creating this beautiful
Thank
choreography
you.
work. What did you want at that time? Why the title, I Want It Right
Yeah,
Now?
yeah.
You
we
know,
need to
it's
know.
so interesting
need to
because
know.
when you hear it,
Mhm.
anybody could look at it and be like, what do you want right now?
Yeah,
you know?
yeah,
And it was like
exactly.
fun to have as
Yeah.
a song title
Yeah.
because it brought me back to like the early 2000s
Right.
too.
Right.
So at that point, I think I Want It Right Now for me was just like, I want to be confident, and I want to be confident like now.
Amazing.
And anything that I wanted to achieve, anything that I wanted for myself, I just wanted it right now.
Mhm,
And
mhm.
any of these songs that I've like written I've always think about the listener.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Because these projects, I mean, they're for me. Of course, I
Right.
love it.
Right.
But ultimately, it's for my fans. It's for my
Yes.
followers. I want
Mhm.
people to like really connect with it. And I'll
Mhm.
get messages that be like, "That's my workout song,"
Mhm.
which I love working out. So I think like it's a universal song. So
Love it.
all of these songs you could really bump in the club and
Mhm.
bump at the gym, bump in the
Okay,
car.
okay.
Yeah, I
That's
always
what
try
we're
to think of
looking for.
that. Yeah.
Yes,
And,
love
and I
it.
like how you're sharing, because a lot of people are still scared about sharing their own life experiences, but that's how
Mhm.
people learn. I feel
Right.
like all of us, like both of us, have learned
Mhm.
and evolved a lot through the experiences of others.
Mhm.
But like we watch and we listen, and then we understand it more. So
Mhm.
when you're going through your bad times, you're going through great openness of changing and becoming this confident person.
Yeah.
Who you look very confident right now.
Right.
Other people like you guys that are watching are all going to be like, wow, like he came from a place where he went through some stuff.
Yeah.
It wasn't a good time. You
Right.
grew into this amazing individual you are now with a
Yeah.
lot of confidence, and people can become that if they just create that breakthrough experience to say, all right, I'm not going to sit here and let all these problems break me down. I'm just
Mhm.
going to become more confident,
Yes.
become this Thomas Orlina
Right.
that nobody knew about,
Yes.
and all of a sudden that's all people talk about. So it's
Right,
kinda,
right.
it's that
Thank you.
amazement that I think many people can relate to.
Right.
Thank you.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and
for sure.
How does it feel to hold the title? You're Filipino,
Yeah.
and you're one of the most influential Filipinos out there. So
Thank you.
how does that feel? Because you really are, you're it. You know what I mean?
Well, let's get to the top 75. I heard
Yeah.
of
Yes.
influential Filipinos. How did that
That's
happen?
like so amazing.
Yeah, so there's a list that comes out with the 75 most influential Filipino
Yes.
Americans,
Mhm.
and I've been on it a couple of times,
Love
and
it. Congrats.
thank you.
Yes, yes.
Looking back on it now, I'm just like so honored because there's so many great Filipinos out there that are
Yes.
really crushing it,
Right,
and I do
right.
feel like the Filipino American culture is a little. It's coming up,
Mhm.
I think that there's a lot more. Notoriety around it, like Bretman Rock.
Mhm.
He's definitely a Filipino American that's
Mhm.
like really crushing it, and
Loves it.
Olivia Rodrigo, and
Mhm.
the list is like growing every single
Yes.
day. There's so
Right.
many great artists, so I
Yeah.
think that it feels really good to be amongst some of these
Yeah.
people that are really trailblazers.
Yeah, no, that's incredible. We went to a Filipino film festival,
Yeah.
and oh my goodness, like it was some of the most amazing people in the whole world. But I say that because the kindness, the amount of hard work that everybody was putting in there, like every single individual there was like one of the hardest workers that I ever met. We were like
Yeah.
mingling with people, and
Yeah.
it was like one person we talked to, and they told us their story, and we're just like, oh my gosh, like we think we're working hard.
Yeah.
So like for you to be in the top, maybe 75, that's incredible, because
Thank
again,
you.
every
Yeah.
Filipino that I've ran into has truly been some of the hardest workers I've ever met.
I love that.
Just like you, I mean,
Thank
you're
you.
in so many different things. You're helping people. You're showing your art, which is amazing.
Thank
We're
you.
in real estate and loans, and I think one thing that you do that I believe makes you successful, and correct me if I'm wrong, but is you being yourself.
Yeah.
You be yourself, and all this is you in the times that you're going through this.
It's
And
literally like a timeline. And
Right.
It's pretty
It is
amazing.
a
Like you
timeline.
warp us in there. I'm like, all right, now I
Right.
know how you're feeling.
Right.
I know you.
Yeah.
And I think we try to do this in our real estate and loan world.
Yeah.
Of course, we're documentations, talking on the phone all the time.
Yeah.
But we do on our podcast, our Instagram, our TikToks. We're trying to show people that we're also just us. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
Even today, we're just wearing crazy colors, and we just want to be us. But I think
Yeah.
that little thing really, makes a statement to the world. And I know you're doing that. So like, congrats to all your success. It's amazing.
Thank you.
Love
Yeah,
it,
I
love
mean,
it.
I said when I started doing the show,
Uh-huh.
my show, Your Time with Thomas, that I was
Mhm.
just gonna put everything out there.
Mhm.
I talk about my coming out story. I talk
Yes.
about,
Love it.
not everything is as great as it looks. Like
Mhm.
being in the entertainment business is very it has its challenges for
Mhm.
sure.
Right.
You get a lot of, no's, you get a lot of doors that close, but there's the beauty side of it as well, where the doors do open, and those are, what we work for. So
Mhm,
I
mhm.
definitely think being authentic on camera is something that I've definitely pride myself into,
Mhm.
is just definitely showing that, it's not easy.
Yes.
Yeah,
exactly.
and to be
All right,
yourself.
you can come in.
Yes, definitely.
Come in, come in. It's okay. We can pause it. No, get it.
No, we watch it.
I want you to come
Yeah,
in.
we watch
Come in there,
it.
come
No,
in.
we planned
No,
this.
no,
We
no,
planned
we-
all
we-
this.
we-
No,
Yeah,
you
yeah,
did
yeah.
it came at a good spot. Thanks for
Yeah,
coming.
perfect, yeah.
Oh my god, I like made it worse.
So sorry. No, we love you. We love you.
Hi.
Yeah, sorry.
Hi. No.
It's okay. We'll cut the little portion. Don't even worry about it.
Yeah.
We
yeah,
wanted you
sorry,
to come in here.
Yeah. No, we knew yet you were. We thought about all of
We
this.
thought about this, yeah.
Yeah.
Hi. This is the amazing Chris.
Yes.
Yes. Hi. Yes, that's Azul. Yes.
We good still, Jay?
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so we'll continue.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay. Sorry. it's
We have a
little-
pop star in the house, so
know,
now
we
I.
feel
I
so
can get
blessed.
GTS from the
Oh, I
I
love it.
love
Okay.
it. Okay, sounds perfect. Okay.
I love it.
Ready?
Okay, ready.
Okay. So, you want I'll just continue?
Okay.
Yeah.
So he finished and now you can.
Okay, you
Yeah.
got it. Okay.
Yeah, that was good. I finished it.
I know that was
Yeah,
great. That
perfect.
was great. Actually, perfect.
Okay.
Here we go. 1, 2, and go.
All right, so, all this
Mhm.
charisma, all this energy you have,
Yeah.
I want to ask you a very deep question. So, honestly,
Okay.
we're
Right. I'm
we're,
scared.
We're all
Just
gay in
kidding.
this front. I'm
Right.
literally going to be straightforward. So,
Yes.
being a gay individual,
Mhm.
member of the LGBTQ plus,
Yeah.
am I saying it right? I don't even know anymore.
LGBTQIA plus.
Oh my goodness. Okay, so
Get it
let's
right,
be
get it
real,
right.
So, how's your life been being in that situation, right? And I'm going to call it a situation only because, let's be real, how hard has it been growing up being a gay individual in today's standards?
It's definitely had its challenges. Growing up, I definitely felt different, and I got bullied. People would make fun of me, and they kind of knew that something was different about me. So I think there's people that took opportunities to make it worse. And so growing up, that was definitely challenging, especially, I didn't come out until later. When I was in college.
Oh wow.
Okay.
So I
Sounds
really
familiar. Like, I didn't come out till I was in my 30s.
right
Yeah.
right
Mhm.
So I think for me it was in the beginning I was just so confused, and I've talked about this before. During high school I was like literally playing two characters of myself, where the rest of people in high school thought I was straight, and I would date some of the hottest girls, and
Right.
like I was prom
Right.
king
Oh wow.
and all of that, and
Okay.
like that for me
You
was
definitely had two lives then.
Yeah.
such a
Love
different life,
that.
and it was very challenging because I think that playing two characters for so long and having to hide that from your family, from your friends, it was stressful. It was very stressful.
So, and the reason I asked that is because I agree with you. I feel like it's very hard, even in today's time, to just walk outside freely. Like, I'm sure
Yeah.
you and your amazing boyfriend, which we'll
Thank
touch
you.
base in a minute.
Yeah.
But I know that you guys probably, it's easy to feel like a heterosexual walking outside holding the hand of a woman, but being with another man,
Right.
walking together might make it very difficult because you don't know who's watching, right?
Right.
Yeah, I hear all these scary stories. So I wanted to bring that up just because I want people to be aware that, hey, it's always difficult to be who you want to be, but don't be afraid because life goes on. People have to see what's the uniqueness about you. And going back to your story is, aside from the LGBTQIA+, did I say that right?
Yes.
So aside from that, you have all this beautiful story. It's like a resume of your past, all put together, and you get to tell the story to your people,
Yeah.
to everybody watching, and I think that's extremely creative and amazing,
Thank you. Yeah, and I definitely agree. I mean, there's times too where in public you just never know. You can be secure with who you are, but then obviously we can't control the universe.
Right.
Yeah.
So it's very scary sometimes to be out there and be
Yes.
open. But I, commend everybody that is out there that is so unique and authentically themselves, and I'm still like growing as a person. I definitely think that that's the beauty of life.
Right.
Every single day I'm trying to better myself or
Yes.
position myself for even more success. So it's definitely something that I commend everybody in the LGBTQIA community that just go for your dreams and go be who you are.
Amazing.
And so what gave you the strength to be able to be yourself? Because you said you didn't basically you were not yourself until college, right?
Yeah.
So what gave you that strength to say, you know what, I'm done, like I'm gonna be me, and again look at what you created because you were yourself?
Yeah.
But what gave you that strength?
So it was actually when I was in another relationship and that ended, and then I kind of started to rebrand like my whole like entire existence, and I was like, okay, well, I've gone through that, and my parents and my family and my friends have accepted who I am, so it kind of gave me another opportunity to really morph into another layer of myself. So I think that really gave me a lot of confidence to just say, like, my family and my closest friends know who I am. I really don't give a fuck who else cares about what I am or who I am to them. And so that really, it was such an empowering era. Like, right when I finished college, I was just like, I finally felt super secure and yeah, it felt really good.
Like not worrying about anybody else.
Just
people that actually care about you, right?
Yeah, and at the time too, I kind of took a break from social media, which obviously plays a huge role in all of our careers.
Right. Yes, exactly.
I think that really helped too, because at the time, I think Instagram was kind of at the beginning of it, and I think it gave me a good amount of time to not really look at what's happening on the internet and just kind of, I literally was just living my life. Like, I actually look back and I'm like, those were really fun times. And yeah, I just was playing Britney Spears Blackout and just driving around town and just not caring about, social media and what people thought of me or curating my life and doing all that stuff. It was just very empowering.
Definitely.
Is there something in your life that sparks your interest in going further with your career? Is it just you just wake up, have a cup of coffee, and you're like, I'm ready to go? Or is there something you go to, like a go-to thing that separates you and you're like, all right, I got this? What is that spark that you find to be your way to feel fulfilled for your day?
Oh my gosh, we don't have enough time for that.
Right.
I mean, my partner will definitely tell you I live my life on an agenda. I have list on list on list of things. Like my 2024 list is so long, but I'm actually checking everything off really fast this year, so I'm really happy about that. But I think what really drives me is just wanting more for myself and wanting more for the people that are around me, because I think as artists, we definitely, our success is their success, and I think it drives me to also prove to a lot of people and to myself more than anything that anything is possible. Like when I started doing this in the beginning, there were so many people that were like not into it, and they were just like gave me a million reasons why I shouldn't do it and why it wasn't gonna be like worth my time. And so I look back and I actually sometimes I get driven by the people that say you can't do it. I'm like, oh, I can? And then like I like the fuel, and then I know a lot of artists. We have an amazing artist in the house as well. So I think that we get driven by we get driven by that sometimes. And like for me, it's like every day is a new opportunity to make something happen. So yeah, it's just, for me, it's just endless.
I love that, because a lot of people, they think that they can't care for themselves, Actually, one of the artists in here today taught me how to take care of myself, Sir, you literally have to, like, do you first, and then you can help others, because we are actually in a field as well where, we don't have fans, but we have, like, partners or clients, you know what I mean? And, we have to, you just have to care about yourself first. You have to educate yourself first. You just have to go all in on yourself. And then that's when you can go help your people, or that's when you can have fans, and then, it really means something because you're taking care of yourself. And at the end of the day, you're not like, dead, and, you gave all your energy to all the fans and you forgot about yourself. How are you going to get up the next day and do it again? So I think that teaches the audience so much that you can sit here today and say, I actually like went all in on myself. That's powerful.
Thank you.
Definitely.
Yeah, I definitely feel that way.
I love that.
So I want to go a little deep.
Okay.
So I always like digging deep in these situations, right?
You always ask the crazy questions. I'm like,
I do.
I do. I'm sweating.
So let's go deep into a conversation. So if you were to go backwards, even deeper than this, let's go into a chaos moment. So let's go into what has happened in your life where you hit the most deepest chaos moment in your life, where you feel was game over. I'm not going to do this anymore. I'm not getting enough fans. It's not moving fast enough for me. Nobody's better than me, right? We all get a little cocky, let's be real. But at the same time,
it could be any time. It could be when you're 5. It could be when you're 10, or
maybe not 5, but maybe a little older.
Well, I mean, people literally have traumatic things happen when they're very
okay, well, if we're going into traumatic, maybe that.
Right.
But what is there a chaos moment that just triggers you back? No, it's go time, because I'm not going back there.
I'm going to be very honest. I have those days all the time. I really do. There's some days where I feel like I want to do more. I have projects coming out. I have things that I'm working on right now. But there's always a moment that I feel like you know, I'm fine walking away from it. Like, I'm so proud of what we've been able to accomplish, and I feel really happy with what I've been able to do, because I really started with nothing. Like, my music career started in 2020, and you know,
well, that's very recent.
it's
Actually,
so
huh?
recent.
Right.
We're 4 years in. I did everything that I could, and I think I have those moments where I just feel like, you know, I think I'm okay. Like, I feel like I'm fine with what I've done, but I think, you know, I have those moments all the time, and I
Right.
think that that's how I feel a lot of people have their moments too. It's like some days you wake up and you feel amazing, and
Right.
you're so you're on top of the world, and then some days you're like, I don't want to fucking get up. Like, I
Right.
don't want to do this. And so I to that question, it happens in waves, you know.
Okay.
I wouldn't say that it's all the time. I think it happens in waves, because I think with artist careers, there's moments where you're just, everything is going the right way,
Got it.
right?
Yeah, and you know what? To add to that, I feel like I can agree, because as I gotten older, I feel like I'm able to manage the problems a little bit better, because it's the problems have just layered over layer after year after year. That by the time another bad thing happens, you're kind of like, well, all right, it's okay.
Right.
You know, but I feel like when we're younger, right? I mean, you're very young. Mike's you're definitely younger than me, but when you guys are younger, I feel like the challenges look like it's the end of the world.
Yeah.
Like it's over, it's done. But as you get older, you're like, it's another obstacle. I can overcome it because I've done it before.
Yeah.
So I feel like you are still in the beginning stages, because
Thank you.
even though you got 4 squares up here, you're going to have 15, 20, 30, 100 squares next time we probably meet. And I think that this is a perfect thing or moment for people that are watching that, hey, like if I do have chaos moments, I do have times of getting up and I don't want to do nothing because maybe life doesn't feel as important. But you wake up and you shift it and you pivot and you're like, forget it. I'm going to do something with my life because I feel like I owe it to myself. Because you even bring up the fact of self-respect. You're like, I'm going to do something because I feel like I'm better than anything.
Yeah.
You know, and I like that about you, because I think that you know what you're doing, you know?
Thank you. And I appreciate that. And I also think it's like the mindset too. It's always for me like leads with the mindset. Like I live my life on a schedule. So I wake up, I'm like a morning person. So I wake up in the morning, I'm in the gym,
Yeah.
you know, I prioritize just feeling good. Cause I think for me personally, looking good equates to feeling good and mentally feeling good, because that's definitely important to me. It's just like upkeeping and health and wellness. So I think it's important to, you know, figure out what mindset you're in, and then once you're dialed in, I feel like things start clicking, and then you're good to go.
Powerful. Love it. Love it.
Yeah.
I know you were saying in which I believe it was Journey.
Yeah.
That you said that your current partner was in the music video with you.
Yeah.
So how is it, you know, working with your partner, you know, because obviously me and Eli work with each other and we want to tear each other's heads off sometimes. Kind of like a minute ago, I was like,
Yeah.
no.
I can't
I
answer
did catch
phone
that
calls.
too, a little
I was like,
bit.
I can't answer a phone call. I'm like,
Yeah.
I'm on the phone.
Right. Yeah.
Yes.
You know, but how do you know, how is it working with your partner? Because most people are like, you know, I cannot work with my partner, but me and Eli could make it happen. 13 years in, you know.
Yeah.
How
And
do you guys do it?
No, I definitely agree. You know, for people out there that are watching, we actually were in Vegas together on New Year's Eve.
The party.
We were at Fontainebleau, and it was so much fun. And I think we really got to know each other
We did,
even
yeah.
more. We had like a
Right.
double date. We had champagne. We were having such a blast. And it's always nice to like see, you know, successful couples. You know, you guys are 13 years in. We're on year 4. And
Amazing,
so
amazing.
with Journey, that was something where, you know, I went back and forth because my partner's not really in the public eye, and that's kind of what drew me to want to be with him.
Got it.
Because I had dated, you know, other guys that were in the industry,
Yes.
and sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't.
Right.
And I was finding that for me, it wasn't at the time.
Okay.
So I was really happy to find somebody that just didn't really care about Hollywood.
Okay.
And, you know, he's definitely so supportive, and he's helped me so much. For people that follow me on Instagram, you know, we travel a lot. We've been able to go to different places. And being on set with him, it was, like, so natural. Like, he's not really, like, all about being in front of the camera, but he was a team player and had so much fun. And my family was in it as well, and one of our dearest friends was in it as well. So
Amazing.
it was really fun. He's kind of taken like a little bit of a back seat with a lot of my projects.
Yes.
He was involved in the majority of what you guys are seeing on screen right now, and he's the best
I love
PA.
that. Oh my God,
Like,
I love that. Yeah.
he's good at just capturing content. He has a really great aesthetic. And we are launching our podcast, Just the
Amazing.
Vibes.
Oh my
Congrats.
God.
Thank
That's
you.
amazing. I love
Yeah.
that.
We've been shooting a couple episodes in downtown and just having so much fun. So I think for those of you that are watching today, you guys will get to really see our relationship, because I've kept it a little private. I'm not gonna lie, it's been
Okay.
kind of a
No, yeah.
mystery.
Right.
Yeah, and I don't really tag him on my Instagram ever.
Right.
So
Sometimes
yeah,
that's good. You got to leave the
exactly.
mystery there so they don't know really
Yeah.
everything about you.
right. I mean, look at Beyonce. Everything with her for me is like artist wise. There's always a new story I never knew about. So I think it's definitely the right time, because we're starting this business venture together, and I think my followers and my fans are gonna really get a different version of me, because I think when you're in relationships and you're working, and it's just so different. So
Yeah, I think they're gonna love it, because it is so rare that the partners could work with each other, and when you can't, there's something obviously there. For me and Eli, we know that we can grow together. We know what it could do for our future, for our kids.
Yeah.
So sometimes we'll bite the bullet. Sometimes I won't rip his head off.
Yeah,
You
and
know?
and
He mostly rips my head off most
Right,
of the time.
right.
Yeah.
But I
it's because
accept
we know-
it. It's
right,
okay.
right.
He's
It's
a
because we
Gemini.
know
I'm good.
What's gonna come out of it, and I think a lot of couples out there, they don't really sit there and realize what could happen if you team up and partner together and work together, if you can, because it can create so many amazing things. And again, everything you just told me, it sounds like you guys work together great. So
yeah, and I think we just understand each other. We have pretty solid communication. So if something's not working for him, then we won't do it. If something's not working for me, we won't do it. So I think we have a lot of respect for each other, and I think that helps with the working process, because ultimately, collaboratively, we want to be super successful, and we want to do it together, and we are thinking the long game. So of course, what we're starting now with Just the Vibes, and anything from this point on that we do together is for the future. So it's been fun. Of course, I'm not going to sugarcoat and say the relationship is perfect, because I don't think anything is perfect.
Right.
But I definitely think having great communication and having a partner that is supportive of you has really, really helped me, and I'm just so grateful for him.
That's powerful.
That's great. And you know what? Even if some of you guys don't have really good partners, some people just really have challenges.
Yeah.
You can still do things on your own. You don't always need somebody to back you up.
Exactly.
But if you can, I mean, if you have a partner that is there patting you on the back saying, hey, you got this, it does help.
Yeah.
So Mike brought up the whole thing about kids.
Yeah.
Is that something you ever thought about as an individual to have children?
Yeah, I mean, I have a niece and a nephew who are so beautiful, and I love being the gunkle and spending time with them, and I also love returning them back to my sister.
Okay.
I was
That might have
answer
answered. That might have answered the question.
Yeah,
actually.
so I just think I would be. I do think I would be a great parent, but I just feel like for me and also for my partner, this is something that we discussed early on, which for a lot of couples, this is a deal breaker.
Yeah.
So we're definitely on the same page. But, I
Fantastic.
do love that you guys have kids, and I admire all of the people out there that have kids, because it's not easy.
Right.
It's a lot of
Agreed.
work,
Yeah.
and it's a lot of stress.
Yes, definitely.
Yeah, that's why I dyed my hair, because the gray hairs. Well, it's gray too, so I don't know what it is, but it's definitely a challenge for sure.
Yeah.
Right.
So all this stuff's going on in your head, and you're doing this, and are you writing scripts? Are you creating a kind of layout for your future? Because you say you write a lot, you take notes, you probably mastermind with yourself in the morning what your plans are.
Yeah.
So in the future, as you develop your career, is there a certain platform or a place where you want to be? Kind of like the main guy, kind of like you brought up Beyonce, you brought up Britney Spears.
Yeah.
Do you want to be that in your own version, or do you want to just go so far, make a certain career, and then exit? What are your plans there?
I think that, I get inspired by all of these artists. I definitely look up to them so much, because they've started from the bottom and they've really worked hard to get to where they are. For me, I just want to be the best version of myself, and I want to, create a lane for myself, and, continue to put out music that I think is going to be impactful for people. And even though I idolize everybody, I feel like with what I'm creating for myself, I definitely want to continue to inspire people to be themselves, because I think a lot of people can do what we do. You just have to have a really good plan and just really figure everything out. And to your point with the scripts, all of these videos I have co-produced, so these are my concepts from start to finish. It's definitely collaborative as well. I am releasing 2 new songs that are coming out
Okay.
very soon, which
Love
will
it.
add 2 more squares.
Okay.
yes, there we go.
Love
Um,
it.
which we can definitely talk about as well. But I think that what I'm building for myself is just to be a very unique artist and to try to do things my way. And to create a path for myself and to also inspire other people that they can do it as well.
Love it.
Love that.
You've been doing so much that again you've been on like CNN, you've been on Forbes, which is so amazing.
That's
Thank
insane.
you.
And obviously, when you look at your Instagram, it's just like one person, and a lot of your fans, they may think wow, this is like all Thomas. Like he got on Forbes by himself. He's been on CNN. He has music videos. I've seen you in San Francisco News, like so many different things.
Yeah.
Is it just you, or do you have like a major team behind you? Because I know for us, like we have to have a team, or we would
Yeah.
We
not
do.
be able to do this.
Yeah, absolutely.
How do you get this all done? Because we have not made it to Forbes, maybe one day, but wow,
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely I've learned so much. Like I'm like the best note taker. I will write down absolutely everything that I learned. I will, keep the relationships that I have, and honestly, I've gotten here through just solidifying my relationships with people and just being kind.
Okay.
And I think that that's really helped, but I definitely have a team.
Right,
Some of them
yes.
are here today,
Right,
and
yeah,
I
it's a
honestly wouldn't be
Yes.
here without them. So shout out to Alani and
Yes.
Azul
Yes.
and everybody that's helped me get here. It's been such a journey for sure, pun intended.
Right.
But I actually recently got signed with an agency, and I am being represented with a new management team.
All right.
So 2024 has gone, up. So I'm really
Yes.
excited to see, the opportunities that come.
Loves it,
Amazing.
Yeah.
loves it.
How exciting.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, you're an amazing individual. You got so much going on in your career. I mean, I feel like a lot of people can learn from you. So I think like in the future, when you're just crushing it, you
Yeah.
brought up the fact that you're going to be your individual self.
Yeah.
Is there a destination point? So is there like, all right, 5 years from now,
Yeah.
you're looking at yourself in the mirror. You're like,
are
all
you
right.
on the VMAs? Like,
where do
you've
you-
already
are-
made it to Forbes.
Yeah,
so, like,
so are you like on the red carpet next
Yeah.
to Beyonce holding her hand,
right,
walking
right.
in, like
Who's your
doing this
bestie?
together?
Like,
I mean, I would love that. Of course, I would lie if I said that wouldn't be something that I would love. But yeah, I definitely think more things on camera. Hosting has been my passion, and I think that's where my career started, as I said in this interview. And so I think being in front of the camera is something that I've always loved since I was a kid. So I think doing more of that, and the music for me is literally a bonus because I get to really amplify more of the creativity. And so I think in 5 years, I mean, hopefully I'll have more records out. I'll hopefully have an album out.
amazing.
And performing, and I really am tapping into the Filipino market. So I definitely think there's so many Filipinos that I want to connect with.
Right.
I'm so proud to be Filipino American and
amazing.
connecting with my supporters that
Yes.
are there.
Yeah.
And I was gonna tell you guys on your show that I actually am releasing a brand new song this
All
year.
right. No way.
Let's go.
Congratulations.
Thank you. It's
Okay.
gonna be released on AAPI month, which is a very important month for me as an Asian American as well.
Yes,
And
yes.
the single is called "Tell Me Your Name."
Oh my God.
And,
yes.
So do I
your
tell you my name?
Right.
Yes.
Yeah.
Um,
I love it.
It's such
my
a
God.
departure from these 4 boxes, I have to say. It's so much fun. It was inspired by The Weeknd and
Okay,
Lady
okay.
Gaga.
Oh my God.
So
yes.
it's such a departure. It's a lot of choreography. We're shooting the video in 2 weeks.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm really excited for Tell Me Your Name because I think that era is going to be a brand new era that I don't think people are going to
Love
expect.
it. Yeah.
This year I've been a lot more confident, and I every day I'm working on my confidence. I've talked about this before. I suffer from like body dysmorphia. Sometimes I feel like I always critique myself, as I'm sure
Yes.
sometimes we look in the mirror and we're like,
Right,
what the
right,
fuck,
right.
you know?
Yeah, yeah.
So I definitely, a couple of weeks ago, I like posted a picture of my butt on Instagram, but it was really for confidence.
Yes, yes.
And it really was.
Did we see that?
Yeah, yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
you saw that?
I did. I
He
think
he
we-
must have seen your butt.
Right,
So I
yeah.
don't remember.
Yeah, and it was really a moment for me to just not really give a fuck about what
Right,
people think
right.
about me.
Yeah.
And I think I've spent a lot of my life really caring about what
Yeah.
other people think about me, like
Right.
obsessively.
Yes.
Like if I post this, what is this person gonna say? What are they gonna think? And that was a moment I got a lot of people that reached out to me were like, you're really revealing yourself
Oh,
this
wow.
year. And I
Okay.
think that's what Tell Me Your Name is about.
God.
Okay.
So I think you guys are going to love
Oh
it.
my God! Yeah,
I'm
we
excited.
actually we had dinner with Sir Chris, and we were talking about this music video.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you were having like your ideas, you know, that you really want to go in and you really want to do it.
Yeah.
And again, that you went all in and
Yeah.
you did it. And
Yeah.
I mean, look at the smile on your face. Look
Yeah.
at how happy you are. We're happy because we can't wait to see the music video.
Yeah.
Yeah.
excited.
And just like so amazing what happens when you go all in. It was just an idea when we were there at dinner.
Yeah.
And then
Yeah.
now it's already in your music video, already done.
Yeah.
I know these happened because you went all in, right? Like
Yeah.
you just had the idea. You
Yeah.
said you were writing it one day and you just went all in. And I mean, now you're a superstar just from using your
Thank
own
you.
mind and, you know, again, going all in. I know I
Thank
said
you.
it like 100 times.
Yeah, you did.
But
Yeah.
like, I'm really trying to like get that through to the audience because I feel like people don't know how to grasp that. You know what
Yeah.
I mean? When you have a talent, go all in.
Yeah,
I had to say it
exactly.
again. I had to say it again.
And it's gonna be such a fun video because there's male models
Okay.
and there's gonna be like really heavy choreography. There's
Mhm.
so many different like scenes to it, and I think lyrically too, it's gonna be very different. So
Okay.
I think it's gonna be such a cool new vibe for people to enjoy.
Amazing, amazing.
Yeah.
Are we allowed to ask you about something that's coming out soon? I believe you have a documentary coming out.
Yes.
Okay,
Wow.
can you
Yeah.
tell us a little bit about this? This
Do
sounds
tell.
so exciting.
Yeah, so a production company reached out to me on social media, and it was
Okay.
such a surprise.
Mhm.
I definitely was really in shock. I still
Mhm.
am in shock that one is coming out, but it's been such a fun experience to document this and to have my family, my friends, my partner,
Mhm.
my
Mhm.
dancers.
Mhm.
We have brands. I have Stevie Mackey, who is an amazing vocal coach to Jennifer Lopez.
Oh my God.
Michael Costello, who's an amazing designer. He's like designed Beyonce's
Mhm.
Grammy
Wow,
dress
wow.
that was so
Oh my
iconic.
gosh.
And just people that I really, really look up to, and organizations that are part of it in the Filipino community.
Mhm.
We touch on mental health.
Mhm.
We touch on so many different things that I think the viewers are really going to enjoy. You'll see the making of my music video.
wow,
You'll see
okay.
like backstage in the performances where I'm freaking out. I'm like deciding what what outfit
No
I'm gonna put
way,
on, and
okay.
like all the malfunctions, all the
Wow.
drama.
We need to
Yeah.
see this.
The one scene in it that was so crazy was I was doing a live performance, and then something happened with the set, and like my dancers couldn't make it, and you'll see it all play out on the new documentary.
Okay.
But I'm inspired by a lot of like what's happening, like Selling Sunset's one of my favorite shows.
Mhm.
I love that show.
Mhm.
I love The Kardashians on
Right.
Hulu and
Yes,
also on
yes.
E.
Mhm.
And I love like reality shows like Housewives.
Mhm.
So we really document it in that style.
So
Okay.
cool. I
You're
love
gonna get
that.
to see LA. You're gonna get to see
Nice.
San Francisco. You're gonna get to
Okay.
see all the places that I get to travel. So
Okay.
it's definitely been a lot of fun. And I'll also say it on the podcast.
Okay.
Another exciting
Oh my
thing
God, I'm scared.
is
More.
I'm performing live in LA for the first
Oh
time.
my
When?
God,
What's going on?
congrats.
Yeah,
Amazing.
Yes.
I will reveal all the details on my Instagram
okay.
as they're
Alright.
coming
Oh
out.
my God.
But I wanted to share with you guys, and you
Thank
guys have to
you.
come to the
Oh
show.
my God, we're
Please
so
come to
there.
the show.
Yes, this is gonna be
It'll be
amazing.
my first performance, so we're
Wow.
already figuring it out. We're getting into
Fantastic.
rehearsals, figuring out the set list.
Okay.
I will be performing Tell Me Your Name for the
Oh
first
my God,
time.
Yay,
yes,
how exciting.
There's just so much going on. I've
Love
never
that.
been busier, so I'm just like really blessed for the
Wow.
documentary and for
Yes.
all of the opportunities that are coming my way.
Okay. love
Fantastic.
Yeah.
Well, you're very humble. I feel like a lot of us who are very humble come from very traumatic times or maybe things that are difficult. So I grew up with my parents. You grew up with your parents. Were your parents always there for you? Did you grow up through a time of hardship by yourself?
So my parents were always there for me.
it,
I grew up in a household. My parents have been married for 40 years.
Oh wow.
So I've
Amazing.
definitely gotten that example of, finding your person and holding on to them as long as you possibly can. And so I think, seeing that kind of support, and both my parents worked their ass off. Like they were, they had 2 jobs each. I actually, ironically, tried to copy them, and I had like 2
Okay.
jobs. I worked at Hollister.
Oh my God.
And I was
you would.
yeah, right. As a model.
Right. Right.
Yeah,
Exactly.
and that was fun. And I also worked at a restaurant, Islands, and I worked there for a long time. And I just was trying to copy them, and I was
Okay,
like, okay,
love
they have
that.
2 jobs. I want to have 2 jobs.
Yeah.
And so, going back to just always wanting to depend on myself and have all the things that I want in life. And so I'm really grateful for their support. And also too, I have two older sisters who were always supportive of me. And I know that that's not the case for a lot of people. And so I definitely am grateful, but I definitely can relate to people out there that are, sometimes feel alone, because we have those days, you know what I mean? Like, you can have everyone in the world and still feel like I'm by myself.
Right.
And
Agreed.
so
Yeah.
growing up, I definitely had those moments, but I think what kept me going was the support of just having that family structure, and just all those memories with them is just, it's really in my heart.
I love that. It's
love
amazing
that.
to hear, because we also, Eli's parents have been together for, ever since,
They're going to be,
he was born, right?
I think they're going to be
Of course,
40
right?
years, actually.
Yeah,
But they're going to
and,
have 40.
same for mine as
Yeah.
well. It's 30 plus years, because I'm in my
And you
30s.
wonder how they stayed together. You're like, what's going on
Yeah,
here?
yeah, we're
Right.
still
Just
kind of
screaming
questioning
across the
that,
counties.
But
Right.
so it's amazing to hear it, because we also have parents, and we've also copied a couple of things that they done, or successful ways and whatnot.
Yeah.
But like you said, it's sometimes everybody has their own story.
Mhm.
So we've had guests before that said, they don't have their parents in life, and they never
Yeah.
did.
Yeah.
But their answer was like, hey, it was actually a good thing for me. Like, it made
Yeah.
me who I am today. So
Yeah.
maybe, yes, we have our parents, and, we're amazing because of them, and
Yeah.
our own selves as well. But it's sometimes not always a good thing. You know what I mean? And I
Yeah.
know that's really deep.
Yeah, it's
But
very deep.
everybody has their own story. And,
Exactly.
just because we had our parents doesn't mean it would have worked for you if you're in that situation. So
I feel like you
Yeah.
know how to accept it, though. Like, I feel like you must have been through something where you're like, I'm good. I
Yeah.
already accept where I'm at. I accept where I'm going. I don't think you're really going to have a lot of challenges, because not a lot of people have that maturity in their mind. No,
Yeah.
I
I don't know about that, but
You're like,
No,
I'm
I
going
don't-
through
I
it right
don't-
now.
I don't mean challenges. Like, you're not going to go through struggles, but
yeah.
I'm saying, like, you're never going to, when you get hit,
Yeah.
you know how to get back up.
Yeah.
I mean it more in that nature. Some people get hit and they're gone. It's
Yeah.
game over.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
feel like you'll never see your game over.
Thank you. Thank you. I appreciate that. And I know that it's, again, everybody has their journey. And I think that's
Right.
what I'm trying to do more this year than ever, is just not judge people as critical. Be, just let people be, and I think that that's really opened a lot of doors for me too, is like, there's so much pressure, especially in Hollywood, to be this
Yeah.
certain person. And I think I used to put a lot of pressure on myself to be that person. And now I'm just like, I don't want to do that. And I think that that's also too helped me a lot. And I think that that's, going back to like other people, like some people that might not have their parents or whatnot. My friends are my family as well. Like, I've had the same friends forever. I never swap friends, and I always feel like my friends have been there for me. So I think, there's always somebody out there, and
Right.
the mental health of it all, I mean, is so important to me. So,
Yes,
yeah.
Definitely.
Well, we had you as a guest today, and we really appreciate you being here with us
Thank
today.
you.
Right.
Honestly, you have such a long future
Oh my
path going
gosh,
ahead of you,
yes.
and
Thank
we're
you.
excited to see you perform. And
Right,
it's
so
you'll let
Yes,
us know,
you guys have
obviously.
to come.
Oh my God,
we're
we're
gonna
so
definitely
we're gonna be
go.
in the front row.
Yes,
Oh my God.
please.
Can't wait.
Oh my gosh.
But yeah, you're amazing, and honestly, we can't wait
Thank
to
you.
see you in the future. And guys, seriously, you guys want to watch this podcast in full? Thomas or Orlina here with us today, doing the thing, creating the future, the vision,
Yes.
and I don't know, I'm just really excited
Right,
for you, and I
yes.
can't wait to
Thank
see
you.
I
you.
know,
Just
so
shine.
excited. Where do all the amazing people find you?
Yes, you can visit my website, thomasorlina.com. Follow me on Instagram at thomasorlina. You can definitely follow me on all my social media platforms. My YouTube channel is Your Time with Thomas. And then you can listen to my music. Please stream it on Apple Music and Spotify. And yeah, just
So much.
all places you can listen to music.
And you'll
Yeah.
find this podcast on the Spotify as well. So,
Yes.
guys, thank you so much for joining us. We appreciate you being our guest.
Thank you for your amazing
Much love.
energy. Loves
Yes.
it.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye, guys.